Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course. As we are celebrating the New Earth codes of divine light, my next guest here is truly living these divine codes. And she is here to share her ascension journey and assist the rest of us on our journey. Truly, this path of New Earth is a connection to our higher self. And we are here to talk with Dr. Edwige about the higher self and the new earth codes of divine light. Welcome, Dr. Edwige. Thank you for joining
Oh,
us.
thank you, Loren. Always a joy to connect with you. It brings me such joy. Thank you.
It is such joy to be in your presence. You are amazing on your journey, and your journey is truly what you assist others on. And that guidance is so appreciated. So, thank you for that. As we
Thank
talk
you.
about higher self attunement today,
Whew.
it really is the
Yeah.
path of New Earth. It is a connection that gives us the answers to everything that seemingly could be outside of ourself, and it really guides us all along the way. What do you think is keeping most people from that higher self connection?
Fear. You know, fear is the opposite of love. And I tell you, you have to become fearless because from day to day, when your higher self takes over, you don't know exactly what the vehicle, the vessel is going to experience in that day. And I tell you, even for me, that can be a little scary at times because you don't know the complexity of your higher self. And so you have to trust the process, let go of your fear, and completely surrender to the process, inviting and allowing and anchoring your higher self into this vehicle. The vehicle has been disconnected for so very long. And when I say vehicle, I'm talking of the physical vessel, the body. And so this vehicle has been separated from that higher aspect for so long that it's afraid to let go and say, okay, I surrender. Because quite honestly, that vehicle has been in survival mode. Thanks to what has been transpiring on this planet for the millennia, right? We are afraid and we're in survival mode and protection mode. Well, in that mode, you cannot be vulnerable and open to receiving and feel that shift of energy right there. You cannot be open to allowing. You cannot be open to discovering. You cannot be open to becoming your God self realized. So you have to understand that this has all been done on purpose to us. So now we, as conscious beings that we are becoming more and more of in this process as we move, we must become aware that that has been their agenda and say, I am now going to self govern myself. Only I govern me, for I am sovereign and I am free. And in that, now, in my daily breath, I give myself permission to heal my physical vessel, to soothe my physical vessel, to allow my physical vessel to say, I can relax. I can let down my guard mindfully and begin to tap into those aspects of myself, my higher self, my God self, my monad. All of the other parts of me can heal. And so my soul can call back its soul fragments. It can heal all lifetimes. You have within you all of this. But you have to move past your fear. You have to move past the protective mode that you've been in. Because understand, the physical vehicle is the vehicle. And as I've moved through this process and my Merkaba is on and I can feel me in my Merkaba moving literally, I understand that it's the vessel, the vehicle that is housing all of this. And so it begins with your getting comfortable in this skin and allowing it to know that it is safe, that it is loved, and that it is going right along with you on this tremendous journey. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're
And
welcome.
so, this higher self connection will help us learn and feel the complexity of our higher self. I want to have you share a photo that really illustrates
Mm,
what's going on here. You are on a leading edge of the ascension process. You've been diligent on your journey. And this is literally embodiment of physical light. You are becoming the light.
I
Can you
am the
share
light.
that photo? Yes.
Absolutely. And I went through the ascension process and it began way back in that car accident in 2004. And it is a process. And my light body descended into me, that main body that needs to move into you so that all of the other higher light bodies can then move in. And that happened, as you know, back in 2012. And so it's been a progressive ascension where my I am actually began its descension into me in 2014, and in 2016, my God self moved in. Confirmation. And so it is an ongoing process of surrender and becoming. And so I will share this picture with you because it's a testament, and there it is, to you are the light. And as you become more and more and more and more of the light, the universe recognizes you, and those codes, those frequencies, those transmissions can come in. And you see, well, you can see it for yourself, too, right?
Yes, it is amazing. There's several things going on here that I wish to point out. This is light coming from you. This is not light coming in from a window. Uh, this is light that is physically in the room. Amazing the colors around your head and even the rainbow colors above the
And
head
below, and
and
below.
below.
And so you see, if you see there are, and I'm going to point, I don't know if you can see me pointing. Do you see the energy, how it's moving up from me and out? And you can see the striations of the energy and the light moving up and out. And so that's sending out transmissions, as I am the mother, sending out transmissions, sending out the clarion call, sending up and out the codes. And so I go out into beyond, bringing back those codes and those keys, and then they're transmitted out. Ah, confirmation transmitted out.
It is what you are emanating. You were sharing a little bit about where you were going. What was going on in the room with the people that you were with here? This was your ceremony together, right?
Well, again, we come together. every week, and I sit and go into light language, and I connect with Source, and they will sit, and some will, if you will, we create a sacred circle, stand guard, if you will, and just observe. One gets to come along as high up as he can go with me. He can get to a certain level, just to see more of where I'm going and what's going on. It's truly fascinating. Um, and different things will begin to happen for them as they are in my inner circle, if you will. They are being cleared and allowed to receive more and more dispensations and receiving more and more of those higher frequencies and codes so that they too are transforming. And so, as a collective, we're able to, they help me to bring in those codes, they help me to anchor them. You see, for me, in this expanded space, if you could imagine that I'm on earth and in the cosmos. And so I'm bringing in those codes and bringing them in and bringing them, and then they can take and anchor and help to anchor. And then they can help me to come back into me, if you will, because it is such an expanded state that I'm in it for hours, by the way. Hours. It's not easy. And so easily 6 hours, and then it takes time, and they're given tools. Believe it or not, one of the young ladies, um, the Council of 12 will give her tools to help lasso me back in and down into my body. It's quite something. It's quite the process. It's extremely energetic. As you see, the room will often fill with light. We actually are able to bring in beings of light will come in and fill the room to observe because they want to see the mother. In fact, it was so very interesting. This last time, all of these beings came in and we were communicating, and they're like, um, why are you in that vessel? They didn't even recognize that I was in a body. They just saw my light and they're like, what are you doing in that vessel? Why are you in that? What are you
Oh,
in? And
wow.
I'm like, I'm the light. Yes, I know I'm the light. And thank you for coming in and honoring that. However, because I'm here on this mission to do this work, I've taken on this physical form. So it was, and we have pictures. I can show you them all coming into the room. These beautiful pods of golden white light. Just milling around the room and moving about in the room. It's fascinating. And so, yeah, it's just amazing. And so we will go through that um, every week. Every week there is a clarion call that goes out. Every week, sometimes I might go to everyone's avatar and bring in new codes because it's easier for you to receive it through your avatar. Um, so different things are happening, but know that the the powers that be, source, the councils, the hierarchy of ascended masters, Krohans, and all of those are very aware of the call that has gone out, very aware that the few have been controlling the many, and that is coming to an end, that we indeed have been promised this time, and it is being orchestrated on our behalf to mitigate as much dis-ease and discomfort and strife along the way as possible. And so it is a process, and it can seem arduous, but it has to go the way it is going, to make it as much ease as possible, to make it as so that our bodies don't go into shock, because remember, again, I said it's the physical vessel has that has to receive all of this light and receive these codes and receive all these things, and you have to let go of your fear. And so, because of how it's transpiring on this planet, there's still a lot of fear. And so we just can't shock you, if you will. We have to go step by baby step. As we've crossed that threshold, as it is happening, we know that we have made it. Now, breathe, go back into love, get out of judgment, get out of judgment, get out of judgment, and allow yourself to receive more light. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. And thank you
Absolutely.
for sharing this picture. Awesome.
Thank you.
So here we are. There are new earth codes of divine light coming in. We just passed the equinox here in 2021. And this higher self attunement, as we mentioned, is crucial, it's critical, it's required. So, as we prepare to do a process here, it is a gateway. It is the first connection, really, into the deeper work that you do, right?
It is, yes. It's fascinating to say the least, because I have seen so many things shift on people, and I've watched their souls reconnect to them, and I've seen their higher selves come into them, and I've seen their light bodies move into them and activate. So, again, it's real. It's so very real. And it is just a process. And there's so many components, working parts to it. And so you really have to go through those initiations of ascension, and not just surface wise, right? Not just on the surface, but a deep overstanding of even the physical mastery, a deep understanding and overstanding of the mental mastery, of the emotional mastery, of the letting go. And then as you get to that, and those are those initiations, then that higher self attunement, when you're really, and just feel that energy. I mean, Loren, here's the thing about this. We're taking this physical body, and it's going to become an energetic body where literally you will see and feel. I can show you pictures of light coming off my fingers, of energy coming out my palms, of me holding energy in my hands and directing it. Okay, that's who we are. And so it is a process of letting go, of speaking to this physicality, of loving this physicality, of honoring this physicality, and then surrendering your lower mind, that egoic mind that says, you're not good enough. You are good enough, for you are a divine extension of the whole. And so you have to really then begin to change your mental way that you see yourself, speak about yourself and others, because others are just a reflection of you. And then that emotional body is really to understand your emotions, and how we move up and down on that scale from moment to moment in our emotions, but to be mindful. Everything is about you becoming consciously aware of yourself, because your emotions right now in here guide you, right? And then that letting go of what you think you know, because so many of us get to a certain point, right? Oh, I've taken this class and I've taken that course and I've taken this and I've taken that. And that's all wonderful. But those are just tools in your tool belt for you to utilize in these processes, because it's cumulative. It's not just one, it's many, right? And so this takes you down that path so that you eventually, your Kundalini activates, that your Merkaba activates, that your light body, which is not the Merkaba, moves in and begins that process so that you can turn on the rainbow body and the golden body and the crystalline body and all of these other levels of yourself. And so that's the process. And then in that, once you receive that, for your monad to begin to move in. And so we're just taking you down that journey. Getting to the higher self attunement is allowing more of your higher self, whoa, to connect with you, to assist you as you move on this, so that you can begin to really feel and connect to that part of you, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that, oh, okay, I'm doing something right, because I'm beginning to feel lighter. I'm beginning to feel more energy, because I tell you, most days I feel like I've had too much caffeine and I haven't had a cup of coffee, right? But that's what it feels like. You can literally feel the lightness of it, like you're floating in a bubble. And just as I speak it, I can begin to feel it, and I can feel the energy beginning to move off of me. And it is that, I should say, simple, but it's once you move through the processes, it is just like that. You command it and it's there because it's you. That is who you truly are. And yes, you are here to become your God self and to command that energy. If you understand that source, prime source, is in you, then you understand that your word is the will, and you understand and overstand that, yes, it's within you to do as Yeshua did and more. So that means that you actually have a command of the universe, a command of the energies that are flowing, and you can command them to move. So if we're asking for abundant prosperity, and so I command the abundant prosperity to now show up for each who is in harmony with that. Do you see? It is just that simple. I'm asking for divine healing for anyone hearing this and seeing this. Who has the heart to trust. Let you be healed. Makuya she. Mika matokisikayash tetitia motopesekiayoshua. And so feel that energy as it is going to move out and into you to allow for you. Shall we go into a process? Let's go into a process. Yes, 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 yes. It is that simple. My goodness gracious. Ayesha patu, so just relax. And if you desire, close your eyes, keep your eyes open, matters not. And just take a nice deep breath. I know, Lauren, you like to watch me sometimes to see how I transfigure and move and morph because it happens. My room fills
Yeah.
with light, things happen. It's all good.
I
Mm.
was just going to say that watching you and listening to you, you really radiate light. You
It
really do.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's emanating now. There are pictures, dare I say, with my halo and a body of light just around me now. Yeah, but that's
Yeah. I'm
just
certain
showing
that
the
our
way.
viewers, I think our viewers can see that.
Can
It's
see it.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
you
I
can
can
see
see
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Thank you,
Truth.
Edwige.
Absolutely. So relax, dear ones. And let's just take a deep breath in. And as we're breathing in life force energy. We're breathing in source. And so, as we do this, I want you to remember that never again will you take your breath for granted, but each morning set the intent that you're breathing in life force energy, and this life force energy moves into every cell to renew, to restore, to regenerate. Mako yatebiri kayano ikichichiko sayama ekepepenino yeshitoa yakunia tichinikusasa and breathe it in. And once more in and out. And in and out. Shai Sherapiku Sasa. And just focus on your breath. Focus on being one within your heart, dear ones. And I'm just going to bring in more light, and that light will do whatever is for your best and highest good. Be it to clear, to renew, to restore, to heal, to bring in higher codes, higher frequencies of transformation. Makoto shijikaya saiya, ipepetoro kushijiji anosasa. And so just breathe, and just every time you breathe, you're going to breathe in those codes. Makoto shinirai sai sai me papatori ayamato ishe ai 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 amato so amaro ai amato kushanini ato ashamako Totodoni, Totodori, Yoshotori, Totodoni, Apopo, no da de Didi, Dota Didi, Gaia Sayama, a show. Ano ko to chidi aditi yani kitu ko to shini ti do kani chidi na to chidi da ya shutu to chini ki sa let go of your doubt makanatori ado pachini to shini di no kusasa. Yes, this is who you are. Mamomo maya mamonia tira ya pakusaya samia toria. Que pamaro ishini noria shoya dia no to dia nukui ayama soa sakia to isha. Ah, mirokuikai and mirokuke nishtoto. See yourselves on this beautiful golden path. And on this beautiful golden path out in front of you is your higher self. Bakoishe, atumi, atumi, atumi. And all of those limiting programs, all of those old things that are between you and your higher self come up on that path. And we transmute them out with the violet flame. Makaya toki chiti chikotai sekai matopiki chiti chikoto jinikai kaikai masopakaya no dajitikai ni tiuto soki shirikaya matopira ya matorai se ya choshinero yashomaji shere yasoa. We're just going to open up a beautiful vortex above your head. Makui say sai 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 sai. Mano sai sai. All your limiting thoughts, your limiting programs, the ideas of not being good enough, rich enough, healthy enough, important enough, smart enough. All of these limiting thoughts, not loved enough, not seen enough, all move up and out. Kaya say, kai mato she shoti tai saya mato she te adi saya so she ya mako she ti ati. Ya baro ko yati ni turi ya tu chika ta pasa pa ko to pika shi ko to kichi gidi gidi kita ya ne ko to chiki dai de pit 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 gidi gidi pit pit gidi 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 pit tik tuk tik tik tuk tik tik tuk tik tik tuk tuk tik tik dai de ko pa ko pa tik 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 tuk tik tik tuk tik tik tuk tik 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 tak ko shi kita. Ah. There we go. Now, look down at your feet on this beautiful path and see how your feet begin to illuminate. Take a step on that path. And as you do, look again forward at your higher self. Your higher self now can communicate with you. Feel that connection as there's nothing in between to block, to interfere. Feel that beautiful connection between you and your higher self. Invite, allow, and anchor your higher self into your thoughts, your words, your creations. Take another step. And as you take another step on that beautiful golden path, just feel how your higher self now can begin to lead you down that path. It is your unique path of your ascension. And breathe. Feel that connection to your higher self getting stronger. Maroki seya yamato aisheya. Maru ayama yama yoya. Goko ishe. Yamatoria, Yamatoria, Yamakoya, Yamayosea. And feel the celebration that your higher self has for you this day. Mikoto Bekshini no Isherai, Yamatoria so. I show. Beautiful. Just allow yourselves to become aware of your physical vessel. Again, this beautiful physical vessel that has chosen to transform and to transfigure with you as you. And so send your beautiful physical vessel love and gratitude. We're in this together. I love you, my precious body. I see you perfect, whole, and complete. I see my mental body perfect, whole, and complete. I see my emotional body perfect, whole, and complete. I see my spiritual body perfect, whole, and complete. And when you're ready, just become aware of self. And you can open your eyes if you closed them. Indeed. How are you feeling, Lauren?
Balanced, very balanced, connected,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
energized. And this is why this is so beautiful and so important. When everyone on our planet gets this, when everyone is done clearing in the collective, then we can get down to the serious work or the fun
See,
work
the fun
of
stuff.
the
Yeah.
fun stuff.
hmm Because it really is fascinating to literally, viscerally feel the energy, be the energy, command the energy, you know? Because that's when you truly have connected to your God self. And that's what Ascension is about you doing the work step by step, whatever it looks like for you, these, the initiations, whatever comes to you to help you in your process so that you can receive those higher aspects of yourself, becoming your God self realized here. And then we all step together across that bridge onto New Earth. That is beautiful. She is so happy that more and more and more of us are preparing. Matoki shirai sai sai mimono yeshite mama. Indeed, she is this glorious, beautiful mother waiting. Oh my, oh my, with her beautiful son and all. It is so magnificent. I even have taken pictures of the two sons and one just coming in, coming closer and closer to me and coming into the room. I'm like, hello, new son. Yes, it's beautiful. When you can begin to communicate with the cosmos and the cosmos responds, I cannot tell you the joy, the excitement, the exhilaration of truly connecting in that way where there is absolutely no doubt, for there is no separation, and it is shown to you every single day. That is for all of us. And I am just honored to be here today to share this message with you because it is for each of us. It is.
And we can really see we're given the opportunity now to go within and make this connection and
Mhm,
receive the information that is in our highest good, that
mhm.
self God, that self governing, sovereign being that we are. Again, this inner connection to the higher self. Now, you mentioned a couple of things that I would like you to share more on. You mentioned the two suns. Can you elaborate on the two suns that you see and how also we can begin to communicate with the cosmos? It's within us, right? But that's a
It is.
fascinating topic.
And so it really truly is because as above, so within, so below, as within, so without. And so, yes, literally, I will just be standing there and I'm just, going into my transmissions and to get into that place, I begin to look at the sun. And before I know it, there are 2 suns. Sometimes I see 3. And then I literally, oh my goodness. Now this is wonderful. Have gone into many, many times I go in because you know there are beings in the sun, correct? You do know that. Okay. That's who's visiting me, by the way, all the beings from the sun.
This is more than just a being. There are beings, beings of
Beings.
light.
They live in the sun, if you will. This is all a part of creation, quite honestly. And these beautiful beings of light come from the sun. And so the sun even has an Akashic. It even has an Akashic. And so when I'm going in, like when you look at a pineapple, you see how it has the sacred geometry, the the shape of it. That's what it looks like when I'm moving into the sun. And there are times when all of a sudden I will get the record of whatever it is and see it. So I'm able to go in where this creation is. But let's get back to the sun. So yes, there are multi suns, and I will watch it. And as I speak to it in light language, it'll change colors. Yes, we have pictures of the sun changing colors. We have pictures of my Merkaba coming in to our room, pictures of the sun changing. It will be pink and then blue and then green. And then the next one will be different colors. We have seen, it's so amazing, the new colors of the new sun, which are beautiful colors. They have a golden sheen to them, but they have these beautiful, deep, beautiful purplish, greenish, bluish colors of this iridescence all in it. And then there'll be this green and orange and a combination of all these colors in it. I mean, it's magnificent. And we will watch it descend and come. And literally, you can see as it comes down and comes into the room and fills the room. And you'll see it sitting there with beams of light coming off of it. So I'll show you some of those. um, it is magnificent. But yes, new Earth, her new sons are preparing, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, this past transmission, what I was shown is that this earth is the feminine aspect, and that was the aspect that was misused and misabused. Her twin flame is the masculine earth, if you will, and sun, and they will come together. And so when I saw that, then the pictures that were being taken of me, my masculine side, I shifted and I was that. And you see in the picture this man as I became my twin flame. Because there's this emerging of our divine aspects all folding in on us. You see, so we've had lifetimes where what's the word I'm looking for? Where you split off and you fragmented, or so you have that you're dealing with, but then you have other lifetimes and you've been masters in this lifetime, a healer in this lifetime, even a good witch in another lifetime. All of these lifetimes, all of these timelines are beginning to come in. And so there will be pictures of these other parts of me standing in front of me, clear as day. We're wearing the same outfit just about, but my hands might be like this and their hands are like this. My face looks like this and their face looks different. And he standing right in front of me, and we've captured all these pictures of all these parts as they all have just collapsed into the here and now. Do you see? So when you get to the point of no turning back on your ascension and your God self is in, and all of these then parts all start to merge. So there is only one timeline. That timeline is the pure organic timeline of ascension. And all of you knows it. So all of you moves back into the one. And you become the one. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's fascinating, actually. It is truly the integration into oneness and unity within ourselves, within our soul.
Yes.
When you, some might ask if it's traumatic or what is the awareness needed to remember those aspects or soul fragments that are integrating with you again?
So, and that's a really interesting question because some of them you will become aware of consciously because they may need a little more work, and some will just automatically happen. Now, the wonderful thing about that, as we've shared many, many, many times, Lauren, is that when you go to sleep at night, you're in the fourth dimension. In fact, we're now in the fourth dimension, even in awake state. And I see the movement of everything now. And so, um, before you so call, and I use the quote unquote sign, before you go to sleep at night, you can ask your team, your guides, your higher self, what do I need to do during this state? Right? It's just a state of being to address any fragments that are ready to return and need healing, to address any lifetime of trauma that I have not addressed yet that needs to be addressed so that it can return to me. So begin to, again, folks, become a consciously aware, self-governing, sovereign being. A sovereign being knows that every answer that you need is within you, knows that all the tools that you require are within you. Source would never have created you any differently because source is within you. So use that time to begin to work on bringing those aspects to you. During the day, if your emotional body is showing you something and you're not quite sure why or where you are, then go into a light meditative state and say, show me, where was it that I first experienced this idea of not being good enough? And watch and see that it's going to come up. It might be in this lifetime as a little child, it may be in a previous life, but begin to use the tools. You have the tools, you have to use them. And so find out for yourself, where was it? Ask yourself, go into that state and ask. Let it come up. How do I address this? How do I heal it? Now, how do I let it go? Yourself, your higher self, will show you. That's the process, right? So that you can move with grace and ease. Again, there are so many codes, there's so much energy coming in now from the great central sun that you have it right there. What we do with our packages that we offer is to fine tune it so that you have a place to work through, right? Whether it be the mastery or the higher attunement, it shows you, okay, here's that tool. Let me work within the constructs of that tool. I get it. So I'm providing for you different tools so that you can take those tools, modify them, and work with yourself. I hope that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you. It
absolutely.
assists on the initiations that we go through. So you
Yeah,
mentioned
and
the,
you have to go through them, by the way.
all right.
People don't talk enough about the initiations, and it is a part of ascension. I don't hear anyone saying that there are initiations, but there are initiations, folks. Why do you think there are all the different temples? Why do you think you have to understand and overstand what the colors are, right? The colors of God, the rays of God, the seven main rays, and then all the higher platinum rays and all these other different rays. You must understand and master all of this. It's so that's why there's so many things that you have to get. Today happens to be, what is today? Wednesday. Is today Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday? Thursday?
Yeah,
I can't hear
Thursday.
you. Thursday? Yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't even know where it is because it all blends. So Thursday then would be the golden ruby ray. And what is the golden ruby ray? It is the sixth ray of resurrection. But what are you resurrecting? All of your spiritual gifts. Don't you want your spiritual gifts? Then wouldn't you pay attention on Thursday knowing that it's the golden ruby ray? And wouldn't you say, oh, okay, I get that. There might be a special prayer that I could do on this day to actually consciously, because aren't I self governing? Don't I need to be aware that that is what this day is about and that I can actually pay attention and focus on the resurrection ray? Tomorrow, the 7th, is the violet flame. So that flame's all about, well, it's violet, right? And it's all about transformation. It's all about transfiguring. Wouldn't you do an invocation to the violet flame to transmute all the stuff that you don't want? Yes. So again, find out what tools actually work and then use them.
Yes. And
And
there's
I say,
beautiful.
and I share about the rays for a very particular reason. And I know you know the story, but in 2014, when I found myself on Mount Shasta, literally it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and I stepped outside and I could see through the trees. And I'm thinking, what on earth is going on? And the lady that I was with said, Edwige, this is the time for you. The gate has opened for you because of who you are. And so I'm like, well, okay. It was really shocking, let me tell you, to be able to see things with my eyes open. And so she said, we'll just go and take baby steps. And so we did. And we would drive a little and get out of the car, and I would anchor. Well, and again, you know the story, but what looked like a Pandora's box came in, click, 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 opened, and a white wall came across and split the dimensions. And I walked over into 5D. I saw the kingdom. The rays of God, one by one, descended and hit me in the heart. Ooh. And so that's why I share the rays, because one by one, I watched them descend from the heavens into me.
Can you review the rays of God for us?
The rays of God?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. So the first ray would be Sunday, the first day of the week, not the last day. It's the first day of the week. And it is blue. And so that divine blue represents divine will, right? Now, hear this. What's interesting about divine will is that not your throat chakra? So, what does that mean to you? The word is the will, because in the beginning was the word, and the word is the will. So, you have to understand that you are creating with what? The word. Your voice, folks. Why I speak light language, why she sings and tones. It's the word that gets to express the divine essence of God. So blue is divine will, divine surrender, and divine protection. So don't you get it? You are protected in the will of God when you surrender to the will of God. Oh, and that's the first ray that you have to master those principles. The second, well, that would be Tuesday, Monday, and that's yellow. Yellow, golden yellow represent illumination, illumination, truth. Stop seeing with blinders on. See truth. Understand that this world has been manipulated and lied, and that things that you think are true are inverted and not. So begin to research and find truth, for it is only through truth that you can awaken. And then when you acknowledge and see the truth, even the dark truth, right? Because you can't hide from the shadow, then you say, that's what they've been doing. They've been lying about this and that and that. And a simple truth that I'll give you is Yeshua is Yeshua's name. It could never have been Jesus, because they did not create the letter J into the 1600s. Go look it up. Right? So it's something as simple as that. But understanding that simple thing gives more truth and light to you. So that's what illumination. And then the third, well, it's the easiest one. Or maybe the most difficult. It's this beautiful crystalline pink energy from the heart of God, for it is love, and it's unconditional love. It is agape love. It's love, simply the noun of love. And because I am love, then I see, be, and act a particular way. Not the verb of love. Oh, I love this. I love that. I love you, Lauren. I love my pizza. I love my husband. I love, right? That's all wonderful. But it's the true essence of it is to be just simply love. And in you being unconditional, perfect, divine, godly love, then you're going to act accordingly. And from that sacred space of the tiny chamber of your heart. Make sense? And then the next is purity, which means white. It's innocence. To receive any of this, you must go back to the innocence, the childlike innocence, right? You trust with discernment, but you must trust and you must be innocent and you must see that everything is working out according to your highest good. And then the next, the fifth, is beautiful. I love the emerald ray, right? It's the emerald ray, folks. It's healing. Oh, feel that beautiful energy as it desires to heal you and to bring you back into wholeness, but it's also of the higher sciences, because creation is a mathematical equation. You know, In all these pictures, you'll see grids, you'll see codes, you'll see symbols. Everything is a mathematical equation, sacred geometry, and that's that highest science. That's the emerald ray of healing and of the high sciences. It's beautiful. And then obviously it's the resurrection ray, which is today, resurrecting your gifts, your abilities, who you are, you, that divine being resurrected. That's what Yeshua was teaching, folks. Don't get it wrong. And all of these, we won't go into religion, created to control you and not necessarily a complete truth. And then finally, the seventh is the violet ray. And what's so important and fascinating about the violet flame is in all of your chakras, not just your 3D body, but your 4D body and your 5D body. It is most divine because it is the blue of divine masculine and the pink of divine feminine come together to form violet. And so imagine it's in all of your bodies. And if you call in that violet energy, it's going to keep you in a bubble so that you don't rehash and bring up and create new karma for yourself. So if you're always invoking the violet flame to transmute the cause, core, effect, record, and memory of every thought, feeling, word, or action I've ever expressed in any time frame or dimension that represents fear, guilt, shame, pain, doubt, suffering, disease, and illness, anger, jealousy, resentment, poverty consciousness, lack and limitation of any kind, transmute by the violet fire all causes and cores not of prime source desire. For I am a being of cause alone. The cause is love, the sacred tone. When you say that 3 times, do you see how it's going to keep everything transmuted off of you so that you're not creating anything new that you need to deal with and release? It's going to keep you in that sacred space of love being your cause. And if love is your cause, then what is the effect? The new earth. Peace and love and harmony and prosperity and joy, right? Right relationship. All that you desire that awaits you is your effect when your cause is love.
Yes. And I think this is what everyone on our planet wants, or at least they are awakening to this
Two,
reality that this is what we all want, regardless of where we may be divided right now.
how else were we to expand and grow and recognize how divine we actually are but through chaos? So, do you see that even this, as crazy and chaotic as it looks, is how we chose to expand, folks? Because why would we come forward? We were divine beings, but we wanted to experience that idea of self creation, right? Away from source. And the only way to do that is through the opposite of what source is, although source is all and everything, including chaos. But that's how we got to experience it through this chaos. And now all of these things are transforming on this earth, and it looks just absolutely hopeless. But there is hope. And it is happening because we're at the last filaments of this old energy that has to come to what? To light, to truth. What was the second ray? Illumination. So don't we have to shed light on everything, especially those things that have been done behind the scenes to us? We must shed light on it, that chaos. And we finally get to the point where we say, oh my God, enough. Okay, my children, go back into your hearts. You now see what it was like to live in chaos. And now we begin the journey home. That's it, folks. So you don't have to curse it, right? Because then you curse yourself. You don't have to be angry. You just have to say, ah, I get it. I now no longer choose to put my energy into that. Pull your power back, become sovereign, say, I don't consent to that anymore. This is who I am. I recognize it. I love it free. Ah, feel that energy. We just let that go. We just let that go. And now we can begin to move, seeing yourself on that golden path down your trajectory of your ascension. So, do you see how beautiful this plan has been?
Yes. And I think you said earlier, stop the judgment. that is a key lesson that we're all learning.
Yeah,
And for us to go inward for what we know within us really is the key as well.
it is.
So
It truly
it's,
is.
yeah, it truly is. And so I want to just share ways that people can go really deep with you, deep
Okay.
dive with Dr. Edwige, because you have some amazing tools that you've created for people.
Hmm.
One is 6 hours. It's a course that we did
Whew.
together
Yes,
all about the ascension. And this is great at explaining the initiations, the stages and phases that we go through. And I recall it has us look at where we are in our own sense, but there's no rush through any of it, right? It's, as you mentioned, it is a process.
it
So
is.
that is really cool for us to even enter and overstand, as you say.
Understand. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yeah. It
Mhm.
is all about the inner standing. And again, the power of your words. You don't want to be under something. You are bringing it into you, or you have an overstanding of it, an overview of it, correct? And so it is your perspective, right? How you see yourself on your journey. So it's to help you to begin to see yourself on a journey. And this journey has many turns. This journey can be a safe route that you take, or it can be a meandering journey. Guess what? All roads lead home. So it's to help you to change the perception of yourself. You're not broken, you see. No one is. You're just taking this journey as you see fit to take it. And the wonderful thing about it, daily, consciously, you can begin to change how you see yourself, and you can begin to change your journey. So, yeah, those 6 hours are really about self empowerment and getting you to see yourself and know that you are the creator, and pat yourself on the back. Because if you've not been liking what you've been receiving, you still have been the creator of it. So, change it.
Change it. And again, these are the tools that you offer, and they've
Yep.
actually been used by you in your very own process. That's what is,
Oh, gosh, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And all right, there's a couple of others that I want to mention. Awaken
Okay.
the Master Within is also something that we are including. And that comes with extended PDF that furthers the process we did in today's session. Tell us about the Awaken the Master Within option.
The awaken the master within, quite honestly, is all about walking you into the space of your heart, recognizing that you live and have your being within your heart. And just to have a conversation about that, it seems so superficial. Oh, yeah, yeah, I live in my heart. No, no. I literally walk you consciously to that sacred space so that you can viscerally feel what it's like to be in your heart, so that you can tell when you're not in it. Because in that sacred space, you can only create for your best and highest good. So it would behoove you to physically understand how to move into that place so that you're creating the life that you desire, so that you're really, truly connected to Source within, because Source within is within the sacred chamber of your heart. So that is about awakening that light within. That light begins and starts and ends within your heart chamber. Ah, yeah,
Yeah. There's beautiful meditations and MP3s in that program,
yeah.
transformation and prayers, and the Vayanamasi mantra.
Mantra, that's to open up the third eye. So many people always say, oh, how do I get my third eye open? I want to see, I want to see. Well, that is a mantra, and you chant it 52 times. So just do that once a day, focusing. And as you focus on your third eye, your eyes are closed, but you're still looking right here. And you just chant that Vaya Namaste 52 times. I sing, you can sing along with me, and allow the energies to begin to turn on your pituitary, your third eye. Ooh, confirmation.
Confirmation. And also included in that option is the Om mantra and the moving into the heart meditation and the
Yeah.
states and stages of consciousness as well.
Oh my goodness, there's so much. I mean, really, this is my curriculum, right? the Om mantra, well, that speaks to itself. That is such a beautiful mantra. It's a clearing mantra, and it has power and vibration and frequency. And if I were to say it right now, you'd feel it, right? Because again, the word is the will. And so it's just about you starting to tap into your inner strength and your power. And that's what that is about. The stages and states, we have to understand that there are 10 stages of consciousness. You go from this asleep state to fully awakened and of service, and all the stages in between. So you have to overstand the process, because then you can move through it, right? You can't go from being asleep in survival stage to all of a sudden being this beautiful, I'm of service and I've got my light body. It is a process, just like the levels of your emotions. You can't go from anger to bliss. You have to go through the different levels of your emotions and get back to bliss. And so it is to walk you through all of these stages, if you will, so that you have an understanding of where you are, ah, what needs to happen at that stage of your development, right? So that you can then leave that stage and move to the next. And that's truly what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Thank
of
you.
course, moving from being asleep to awake, and from being awake to awakened, and really vital. Yeah.
Awesome. And then also in this option, we see the TAH, the Ta, spirituality in you, keys to happiness, and living from
Mm.
the heart.
Well, I mean, think about it. Once you get to a certain place, how do you stay there? Well, learn how to live and operate from your heart. Learn that you are the master, and finding balance and equanimity, finding that balance, right? So that you stay out of judgment. You become the detached observer. And in that place, you know that no one is broken. You've mastered these universal laws, one being the law of allowing. And so from that place, no one's broken. So I don't have to look at you and say, oh my goodness, look at them. Why are they going through that? They're going through their experience that they contracted to go. As dark as whatever it may appear to you in your small idea of what's going on, for you don't see the whole picture, you're just seeing a little sliver of the whole, correct? And so you're setting your mind and your opinion based on that small sliver. And so it's to allow. Everyone is having their own experience, as whatever it might appear to you, whatever it looks like. Everyone is allowed to be the creator of their experience. And through their choices, everyone will have their own consequence. That's just the part of allowing. For everyone is on their own path and their own destination, getting to their point when they get there, whether it be in this lifetime or in 1,000 years from now or 10 days from now. It is their way of getting there, because their soul is running the show. And so it really is about finding balance within that, because you'll go crazy if you don't find balance within that. If I am love, then isn't that all I'm supposed to be? Okay, think about that one, folks. And it's not necessarily the verb, the action, but it's the state of being. Get it? It's the state of being. Okay.
Yes, we get
Yeah.
that.
It's
I
a
hope
big
every
aha, isn't it?
it's a state of being, and we can be so immaculately aware of it that we can really maintain it. That's how we hold
Yeah.
it even
Hmm.
stronger. Yes,
Yes.
great.
And that
So,
is that immaculate conception within us, the divinity, the birth, the renewal within us. Whoa, feel
so
that. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, that's powerful. And just feel that. Know that you are divine, and that the universe, the cosmos, that prime source creator, and all those beings of light are pouring forth their love onto you in this moment for you to receive, so that you can become the highest and the purest light that you are here to be. Makuni atumi asa kano ishishi amimaro kuke anu kisekai shopurua. And we thank you, the Most High. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you for showing the way. Indeed. Ooh.
Thank you. Always transmitting divine codes of light. Thank you.
Always, always, always.
And I want to share as we wrap up one more way, one more option that people
Okay.
can work with you depending on where they are and what they've done with you in the past. This is the return of your
Mm.
divine blueprint. And this has the Awakening Codes video as well as the Path of the Initiate video series.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. That's about 30 minutes of light language transmissions. Yeah, and I think they're like 6 or 7 or 8 minutes of s- you know clearing, and then a 6 minute of love and a 6 minute of this. So it's a, cul- a culmination of probably 5 different frequencies that I do 6 to 8 minutes on each of these particular things in that 30 some minutes. And so, yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's just pure light language. That's it. And then, of course, everything else is returning to your divine blueprint. And what does that look like? Your morphogenic self. What does it look like to really clear and calibrate and to allow your God self to come in? What does that look like? Well, this is what is explained in that process of returning to your organic divine blueprint, who you are, the original you before the fall, the cadman, admin, the you, the divine you, that star seed that said yes. So you connecting back to you as that divine, perfect star seed God self. Oh, confirmation. Okay, I'll take it.
Oh,
Ah,
thank
receive,
you. We are
receive,
receiving, we are feeling light and we are feeling balanced and we are feeling beautiful. I hope
as we
everyone
are.
is, I hope
Mm,
everyone truly is allowing
yeah,
this and surrendering it. Yes. Well, Edwige, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this. This has been a beautiful session. Your wisdom and way showership is awesome.
thank
And
you,
we are so in gratitude for all of the work that you do and
thank
all of
you.
your sharings. Thank you so much.
It's my honor to be here and to share with your loving audience that we are the light, that we are the ones we've been waiting for, and that this is our time, and no one can turn its back now. This is it, folks. Ah, indeed. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. So wonderful. Thank you for sharing this beautiful light and transmission today.
Thank you. Namaste. Be well.
Namaste. Thank you.